The Volvo XC60, Volvo's entry into the very competitive luxury midsize crossover segment. It's now in its second generation, 2 years into its second generation. So let's see what this Volvo has to offer. This is Tyler here from N&T Auto Reviews, giving you yet another in-depth walk-around video here. Okay, so let's first look at the window sticker so we get a general gist of what the XC60 is all about. Now you can see up here they give you the fuel economy ratings as well as our crash test ratings and our parts content as well as some shipping information. You can see this car hasn't been rated by IIH as yet, the government testing, but you can tell since it's Volvo it's going to be a pretty good crash test rating. Now up here we have all of our standard features, which you can of course pause the video and get more information as I scroll down. You got a pretty good value on this car for what you get. This car does have a couple of options added onto it, which I'd like to focus on. Now first of all, it does have the premium package, which comes with some pretty cool features such as the keyless entry, the hands-free tailgate opening, so you pretty much just kick underneath the bumper and the tailgate will open for you. You get the blind spot, the cross-traffic alert with the auto braking system, the front parking sensors, the automatically dimmed inner and exterior mirrors, powered mirrors as well as your home link, and also the power folding rear headrests. If we look a little bit down, we have the heated rear seats and heated steering wheel package, metallic paint, and we also have navigation, a little bit of a nicer design 19-inch alloy wheels, and a pretty moderate $995 destination fee for a total price of $48,990. Now, if we take a look up here, you can see that this is the T5 all-wheel drive Momentum. So T5 pretty much just tells you which motor. You have the all-wheel drive system, which is a little bit of an optional cost, and the Momentum trim level, which, believe it or not, is the most basic trim level for all Volvo models. Okay, so taking a walk to the side of the 2020 XC60, you can see the bodywork has two different body lines. So going up top where the bottom of the windows are, it's kind of like a rounded, concaved design with the bodywork, and then as you move down below you have some more prominent sort of sharper creases at the bottom of the doors and also on your rocker panel trim. So the exterior color we're working with is the denim blue, and it actually does a pretty good job matching the color of the jeans that I'm wearing today, and it is one of 8 color choices available on the Momentum trim, and the wheelbase stands at a pretty moderate 112.8 inches. Now, taking a walk around back to the XC60, you could see it's instantly recognizable as a Volvo because of these beautiful vertical tail lamps. You see that at night, you definitely know that that is a Volvo going down the road. I'd like to also take this opportunity to discuss the drivetrain options we have on the XC60, since there are quite a few of them. Now, the more basic engine is going to be a turbocharged inline 4 2 liters called the T5. Now with the T5 you can either choose between front wheel drive or all wheel drive. You can then, if you need more power, step it up to the T6, which is the same motor but with the addition of a supercharger that is only available with all wheel drive. You can then even step it up more to a T8, which is again the same engine, so the turbocharged, supercharged 2 liter inline 4, but with the addition of a plug-in hybrid electric motor. That produces right around 400 horsepower. Again, that is exclusive to all-wheel drive. And lastly, we have the same T8, but with the Polestar engineered tuning, which turns it up about 15 horsepower. Alrighty, so the details on the exterior on the 2020 Volvo XC60. We'll give you a nice head-on view right there. Very large, prominent grille here with the typical Volvo insignia on the front. You can see the grille is surrounded in chrome with the gloss black on the center with the Volvo badging. As far as our lighting go, full LED headlamps come standard as you'd expect from Volvo. So your high beams, low beams, turn signals, and daytime running lights are all powered by LEDs. Looks very nice, very, very bright turn signals as well. Down here we have a couple of sport trims that are blacked out, and you can also see a couple of the parking sensors that run the span of the front bumper. Very classy look for the front end of the XC60. Gives it a very luxurious look. So up on the hood of the XC60 you can see you have some pretty neat creases that go up along towards the windshield cowl, and you could really see that denim blue color sparkle in the sunlight. It's not a very metallic-y prominent color, but it's a very, very attractive and a little bit of a different blue. Now taking a look down here, we have these beautiful machine face and black pocketed wheels. And they are wrapped around Pirelli tires that measure 235/55. And the wheels measure 19 inches. We have ventilated disc brakes up front. We have chrome surroundings going around the windows and gloss black pillars. And on the mirrors we have both a LED turn signal as well as your blind spot indicator. We also have the smart key entry on all four of the door handles, and if you see this little square pattern right here, just put your finger right there. It'll beep and lock all the doors, as well as fold in the mirrors on this. And you can also just put your hand behind the handle and it'll unlock the doors. Of course, the key fob has to be within a couple of feet of the vehicle for this system to work. Taking a look back here, we have solid disc brakes, same wheel and tire setup. And up top we have a nice spoiler, a shark fin antenna, as well as our brightly chromed roof rails and the panoramic sunroof. Taking a look back here, it's no different as the lighting setup up front. Full LED lights back here for the typical Volvo vertical tail lamps. As far as badging back here, we have a couple of notable ones. The XC60 badging, Volvo spelled out across the tailgate, as well as our powertrain T5 all-wheel drive badging. Underneath the Volvo insignia we have a trunk release as well as your reversing camera. We have parking sensors that go all the way across the rear bumper, as well as some flat plastic that helps out with keeping the paint nice and clean, and some really nice looking exhaust tips for either side. Now, taking a look at the interior, we have the blonde leather interior. We can choose between 4 different colors and 2 different materials. This is our basic leather. You can also choose between to get the fine Napa leather. As far as materials go on the doors, they're very nice. You have soft touch plastic up here and also down here. And then you also have the leatherette materials on the door rest. As far as functionalities go, we have the beautiful chromed door handle, as well as your 2-person memory lock unlock. You also have your window and child locks here, which are powered, as you can hear. Then we also have our window controls and power folding mirrors. The way you fold the mirrors is you just press both of the left and right buttons simultaneously. Now with this particular car, we have the standard speaker setup, which stands at 8 speakers. You can also upgrade to a Harman Kardon audio system if you'd like. We have a nice storage pocket over here with a bottle holder and also some separated storage. Now as far as color options go for the interior, you can choose between this blonde, which is almost like a really light gray or almost a white. You can choose, of course, the black, a brown, and then also a darker tan. But very nice attention to detail on this standard leather. You can see that the grain is very detailed. I really like that. You have some color matching stitching on the outside as well. That's also a fully powered seat with your 2-way lumbar adjustment. On the left of the dash, we have an air vent and some brushed stainless steel look trim. We have our gauge dimmer and a trunk release. Down here, of course, we have our pedals, and sneaking off to the side is our hood release. You can also see underneath the steering column is the release for the tilt telescoping steering wheel. Now here's the key fob that you get when you get a XC60 in the Momentum trim. So you get the soft plastic on the outside over here, and then the Volvo logo on the face of the key. There's also a little switch where you can slide that and the physical key will come out. You have the panic alarm on the left side of the key, and the rest of your buttons on the right side, so that's lock, unlock, and trunk release. Now I say this is the key that you get with the Momentum trim because there's also different keys that you can get with the upper trims. So if you go for the more luxurious Inscription trim, you get a leather wrapped key fob, and then if you go with the R design, you get a more sporty perforated leather key fob, which is pretty neat. Very nice attention to detail there. But of course it has a, well, Volvo's version of a push button ignition. And it's this little ignition switch here which you just turn and it'll start the engine. Okay, so let's start off the interior with this steering wheel, and it is a two-tone steering wheel. So this kind of white leather color is on the inside of the steering wheel as well as on the airbag cover. Then basically where your hands are going to touch is the black color, so you don't really get the white colored so dirty if you have your hands a little bit dirty. But we have some buttons on the steering wheel as well as some nice brushed metal accents going around the airbag cover and the buttons. Over here we have our cruise control buttons, which it is an adaptive cruise control, so you can increase and decrease the distance between the car in front of you right here. Taking a walk across the airbag cover, we have all of our media controls, so kind of like a page button to get more information in your digital display. We also have voice commands. The audio volume is up and down on the arrows, and then also skipping between your tracks, and a select button right there. So in this particular model, since we have the navigation package, it comes with a larger digital display for your gauges. On the models that don't have the navigation package, you get a smaller display that kind of just shows your speedometer and then a couple of gauges to either side. But this one, we do have the full digital gauge display. Right over here we have our speedometer as well as our rev counter with a fuel gauge down below. We can see that it displays what gear you're in as well as the digital speedometer and what speed the particular road is that you're on. Up top you can see you have different lighting controls and your temperature as well as the time. And behind the steering wheel you have the stalk here for both your lighting, so your fog lamps as well as your high beams and your turn signals. And over here you also have your front and rear wipers. Okay, so taking a look at the upper dash, we have a pretty nice soft to the touch material. Had a pretty cool grain to it, and you also have a center channel speaker up there. But taking a look down here is the vertical Volvo screen that you all know that came out. It's a very, very nice system. It includes everything from your climate control to navigation, car information. It's a very intuitive screen. But we'll go ahead and get into it a little bit here. We have our navigation up top. We can expand the display and also make it 3D. We could input our destination right there as well. And going back to home is just as simple as pressing the button at back on the bottom actually. And then over here we also have our radio screen, which will pop up all of our radio stations here. And we press the library. That's where you'll find your favorites or your presets. And we also have our tuning right here, where we can slide it back and forth like so. We have our phone screen right here, which you can press, and then you can connect your phone via the Bluetooth or also the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Right down here we have our car status, which has to do with our checks and service reminders and whatnot. We can also check the TPMS. Your service reminders, that'll give you how many days and how many miles you have until you need a service. And you also have any vehicle messages or status such as your oil level. Now this screen very much so acts like a tablet in the fact where you could swipe down, get more information, also swipe back and forth as you could see. But if you do swipe down, you could kind of get into your settings. We have all of these different settings which you could customize. Your sound settings, navigation, all of these different settings in which you can customize to your personal liking. We swipe down again, we also have an electronic owner's manual, and you can also set different personal profiles to the settings that you like. Swiping to the left, we have some various information about the car, and also some systems that you can turn on and off, such as all your different safety settings up top. You can bring up your camera quickly, your backup camera anytime you like. You can also fold down your headrest electronically. It's actually pretty funny if you have some rear passengers. You could just fold them down on them and hit the backs of their head. We have road sign information as well as your wiper and service position and your front collision avoidance system. All of that stuff you can turn on and off, and most importantly you can turn on and off your auto start stop. If we swipe to the rightmost screen, you can see we have some media information as well as some messages and car configuration. Now there's two different menus you can go into for your climate control. You can either change your temperature by pressing the outermost buttons. It is a dual zone climate control. You can also turn on your heated seats and heated steering wheel with this one right here. So of course you have 3-stage heated front seats. And also 3-stage heated steering wheel. And I can tell you I have driven an XC60 in the winter time, and these heated steering wheels get very, very warm. And also in the middle is kind of like your main climate screen, where you have your defrosters, your AC recirculation, where you want the air to blow in the center, your fan speed right there, and then you can also turn it on auto. Now you do have a couple of shortcut buttons obviously down here, which is very useful for your front and rear defrosters, your hazards, your play and pause, as well as your volume knob here, and also skipping between your different tracks. Now taking a look down here at our center console, we have an array of buttons with your gear shifter, which all XC60s will come with the 8-speed Geartronic. Putting it in reverse will reveal your backup camera, and it's a very beautiful quality. And the guidance lines also adjust to predict your path. You can zoom in if you need to see something a little bit closer, turn on and off your parking sensors, on and off your guidance lines, and also on and off your cross traffic alert. You also obviously have neutral and drive, but then you also have a manual mode if you'd like to select your gears manually. Taking a look down here, we of course have our engine start stop toggle right there. We also have a drive mode selector, so if you press down on the scroll wheel, it'll come up on the center console and you have 4 different modes to choose from. You also have 2 buttons down here, one for your electronic parking brake, so you put your foot on the brake and lift up to activate, and press down to deactivate. Then we also have our auto hold feature for if you're at a stoplight on a hill and you want to take your foot off the brake. This will actually hold the car stationary until you start to take off. Taking a look over here, we have a nice lid for the center console. You can lift that up and see there's a bunch of garbage in there, but you have a pretty good amount of room in here. A couple of USB inlets. And taking a look at our passenger area, you have this beautiful, again, that kind of brushed stainless steel look. And we also have the Swedish flag on the bottom of that air vent over there. We open up our glove box. It is felt lined. We have some lower and upper storage. Very nice. Taking a look up at our center stack, we have our frameless auto dimming garage door homelink and compass mirror. Very attractive looking with the frameless design. We also have a couple of SOS controls and the Volvo on-call button there. We have one toggle that controls your sunroof as well as the sunshade, and we also have some interior lighting controls. Taking a look at our sunroof, it is a full panoramic unit. You can see that the headliner is the same color as the seats, so it doesn't block a whole lot of the light, but it does block most of it, and you could use that toggle to put the shade back. Again, it is fully powered, and there are kind of 2 segments, a front and a rear to the sunroof. You could both vent it upwards like this, or slide it backwards like that. Wind deflector will pop up. It'll open up to pretty much this position here. Then if you want to put it back just a little bit more, you also have the option to do that. And to close it, just press the button like that. Also have these pretty nice visors that are cloth lined. You also have an LED light, card holder, and a mirror. And if you flip them over, they will block the sun to the side, although it doesn't move back and forth. And you also have a grab handle. For this portion of the video, I'm going to adjust the driver's seat to a comfortable position for my 5'10" self. Then we'll get in the back seat and see how much room there is back there, and also what kind of amenities we're dealing with. Okay, so the rear doors pretty much have the same quality as up front, and that's what you get when you buy a luxury grade car. So soft touch materials all the way up here and all the way down here with a speaker and a little storage pocket. You also have the leather armrest over here, so very soft to the touch. You have a lock unlock button as well as your door handle and your window control down there. So very solid sounding doors and plenty of room back here. As you can see, I have at least 3-4 inches of legroom sitting behind myself. You have a little storage pocket to either of the front seat backs. You also have some nice lighting up here, as well as a grab handle and a coat hook. Over here we have the controllers for the heated seats, and they are 3-stage for both the rear passengers. Not too bad of a drivetrain home, so you could definitely fit 3 people back here with comfort. And you also have a 12-volt power outlet back here too. Optional is the addition of a 3-zone climate control, so where this storage pad would kind of be like a screen, and you can control your climate control from back here. You can also see the nice attention to detail on the seats and the fact that they have the Swedish flag right on the side of the passenger seat. Panoramic sunroof continues very nicely back here. It goes all the way back to the rear headrest, so it's a very large sunroof. And with this blonde interior, it definitely gives you a nice light interior here. As you can see, I have the passenger headrest folded and the driver's one up. You can also raise this center portion if you have a center passenger, and you can fold this down if you don't have a center passenger. You have a little bit of storage under here where you can put sunglasses or whatever. That's hidden storage, and then you also have some exposed storage and some cup holders that pop out. So very nice amount of amenities, very comfortable back here, plenty of room. And you also have air vents on the B-pillars here. That pretty much does it for the passenger cabin. Let's go ahead and see what the cargo area looks like on the XC60. Okay, so a part of the premium package, the XC60 comes with a full powered liftgate. It is hands-free if you'd like to see if you can figure out where to put your foot on the underneath the bumper to open the tailgate. I can never seem to find the position on any car for some reason. However, you have a really good amount of space back here as to expected on any mid-size crossover. You have some lights to either side of the cargo area on the edges. You also have some cargo tie-downs on each corner. And a storage net over here where we have our leather care wipes as well as our wheel lock kit. You have a 12-volt power outlet, some grocery bag hangers. And you also have this multi-function cargo shade. So this is fully retracted at the moment. However, you could pull it out and put it to right about here, which will hide all of your cargo. But if you need even more space to fit more cargo, you can pretty much just lift the shade up into this position up here, as you can see. So really nice idea that I did with the cargo shade there. You have your carpeted floor mats back here, and the seats fold 60-40. You can see the little latches on the back of the seats right here. Lifting up the cargo floor, you can see you have a full-size spare tire, and your tools and jack are at the back. You also have these nice stainless steel loading bars that help reduce wear on the plastics in the trunk. Now you can either close the trunk manually if you'd like, or you can just press the buttons up here. You have one button here which will close the trunk and lock the doors if you're getting something out and you don't want to reach for your key fob, or you can also just press the power trunk button. Now the fuel door is on the passenger side, and it is an 18.8 gallon fuel tank. And for the T5 all-wheel drive, according to the EPA, you should be seeing right around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway, which really isn't bad. You have a capless fuel filler, and as you can see, they recommend the premium octane fuel. And so to wrap up this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2020 Volvo XC60. I hope you consider it when you're shopping for a mid-size luxury SUV. Thank you for watching. I hope you stay with us here at N&T Auto Reviews.